No, they're going to hear one. So people that are getting can hear.
Oh, so they're going to play that.
Facebook maybe. So it looks the same. Only a little bit.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
So that is 60. You can sit with us here. No, it's just so
Yeah, I shared online as well. I gave it to my buddy to share with me. Okay. The buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you know what? Sorry, forget it. It's in there. I'll share it after. Okay, sorry, maybe I'm mad at myself.
So everybody, we're going to start the program, inshallah. Assalamualaikum. So again, assalamualaikum everybody. Welcome to our first Nueces night. We're with our partnership with Qalam Institute. Like I said before, Sh Mikaeel is going to be going over a text called 4 Minutes with Assistance. He's much more qualified to explain what that is exactly.
You did great, bro.
And
you did great. I was going to tell you to do it, yo. Like, after I heard you introduce the book, I was like...
So much water. 5 days in a row. Yeah, the whole entire day.
okay. So like, if you park in the driveway and you wouldn't mind, there's some brothers trying to get up, so if you could come and just move that out religiously. But Sh Mikaeel, he studied in Qalam Al-Madaniyah in Buffalo, New York. Afterwards, he went to Damascus, Syria to study some more, and afterwards, after a couple other stints at other masajid, he's at Qalam Institute now, teaching full time, I believe. And I'll just give it up to him right now.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. I like to begin most of my halakas, if you've ever listened to one of the podcasts or anything like that. I like to begin my halakas with a special dua. And that dua, can you just share it to my page, please? The main page. I like to begin normally the classes, durus that we do, with a special dua. And this dua is Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbak wa hubba man yuhibbuk wa hubba amalin yuqarribuni ila hubbik ya Rabbal Alamin. I think he already made the announcement. The announcement to move your car if it's in the driveway again. I'm not making that announcement again. So if your car's in the driveway, please move the car, inshallah. Like, no one's moving. I think you might want to tell that brother to sit down and just come chill with us. Okay, so the dua I'm explaining is the dua is Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbak. You'll hear me every week, every time I'm here reading it, so you'll memorize it, inshallah. If you listen to the podcast, you'll hear me read it a lot, which is Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbak. Oh Allah, we ask for your love, right? So we want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's love. What that means is we want Him to place His love, that we love Him in our heart, but we also want Him to love us. But so one of the things, brothers and sisters, that stops us from loving Allah is there's other greater loves that you have in your heart, and they're preventing you from loving Allah. So a lot of times people ask me, yo, how can I love Allah more? And it's like, okay, you can love Allah more, but guess what? There's a greater love that you have in your heart. If you just removed that love, then you would find your heart turning straight to Allah. But you put something, you've put something in your heart that you've given more precedence to, and that's why you're not able to love Allah truly, because your love for that thing is overpowering that. Right? It's simple. It's simple. Like, you know, you're trying to get in shape, right? And you see that, like, you know, that little Debbie. Isn't it called Little Debbie, right? I ain't eat those in a long time, so I forgot. Like you either got love for that or you got love for that gym body. You feel me? So when that Little Debbie's sitting in front of you, then you're gonna have to. Y'all don't eat Little Debbie's here, it looks like, because everybody's like, all right, Doritos. Okay. So when the Doritos are sitting there, now you have to make a choice, right? And if the love for that physique, in this case, that strength, that toned, you know, body with gains, you know what I mean, right? And he's smiling like crazy, dude. If your love for that is more than the love for the Doritos, then you can easily walk past it. But if the love for that is higher, then it's going to trump it every time. And so one of the things that you have to learn to do is realize what are the things that you love. And it's easy to tell because you give them preference in life. You give them preference. You can't deny what you love because it's what you end up doing. Right? It's what you end up giving yourself to, your time to. So when we ask Allah for His love for Him, what we're actually asking is that, oh Allah, let me see those things which are coming in between me and you, and let me remove those things from my heart. Fahimtum? Does everyone understand what I'm saying there? Right? Okay, so that's the first thing. And then, so Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbak. Oh Allah, I want your love. وَحُبَّ مَنْ يُحِبُّكَ. This is beautiful. So, and also Allah, give me the love of those people who you love. Now what does that mean? That, you know, like, so like when you're trying to get close to somebody, that somebody, you start to get close to their brother. Y'all know what I mean? Nah, okay, y'all ain't feeling me, okay. You start hanging out with the dad more. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Thank you. You want the people of that person to love you. You get what I'm saying? You want the people of that person to love you. So you call up her little brother, you like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? He's like, yo, what's this? She's like, yo, you remember me and Ahmed? He's like, well, yo, why are you calling? I want to hang out with y'all. Let's just hang out. And he's probably smart, so he knows what you're trying to do. But anyways, the point is sometimes when you want to love someone, you also want the love of the people that love that person too. And so when it comes to our love for Allah, one of the signs that you truly love Allah is you start loving the people of Allah. You get what I'm saying? And one of the signs that love of Allah is leaving you is the people of Allah. You like, yo, I don't want to chill with those people too much, yo. And you rather chill with those other cats. You rather chill with those other people. Alright. Then the next thing is وَحُبَّ عَمَلٍ يُقَرِّبُنِي إِلَىٰ حُبِّكَ. And oh Allah, give me the love of the actions that will bring me your love. Okay, so there's certain actions you can do that will bring the love of certain people. And so you try to find out from other friends, like, yo, what is that person like? Yo, what kind of lattes do they drink? Right? You know, what type of burgers do they like? What kind of food do they like? You want to know what actions you can do to gain the love of that person. And so this dua, the same mentality is the mentality we have to have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is, oh Allah, give me your love. That means take out other loves from my heart. Number two, oh Allah, give me the love of those people who you love. Like, I want to love all those people tight with you, Ya Allah. I want to love them. And number three, oh Allah, give me the love of those actions which will gain your love. If you got those three things, you're a made man, as they say. You're a made man. You're good. You're good. Got those? What are they? Love of Allah, love of the people, and love of the actions that will gain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's love. So I'm going to begin every class that we do with this dua so that we keep reminding ourselves about that. So Allahumma inna nas'aluka hubbak وحب من يحبك وحب عمل يقربني إلى حبك يا رب العالمين. Ameen. Say Ameen. Ameen. All right, so today, inshallah, is a beautiful day. We're starting a book which was written by a scholar of the 9th century Hijri. 9th century Hijri. So this man, was born in 1442. And his name is Ahmed bin Muhammad al-Zaruq, from the city of Fez. From the city of Fez. So any Maghribi people up here? Yeah, represent Maghribi. He's from the city of Fez. I'm not from there, I'm just saying. I'm pretending right now. But anyways, so beautiful scholar. The scholar has written a book, and the book is designed, as Shafat was explaining to us, the book is designed as a spiritual primer. And so what you have to understand is many times we were taught Islam, the external form of Islam. The external form of Islam. How to pray, how to fast, how to do this, don't lie, don't do this. The external form, we learned that in Sunday school for like 10 years straight. But there's an inner aspect of Islam, the more esoteric aspect of Islam, about the spiritual culturing or spiritual maturity of a person, right? That is mandatory in Islam. You must know it. It's an actual thought part of your deen, right? Let me give you an example. Like a person can come in right into the masjid and bust out 2 rakats, right? And pray them perfect, right? Perfect, like from the fiqh perspective. But the whole time they were doing it in the back of their mind. They're like, yo, such and such is watching me right now. I'm going to pray a little longer. Now, what do we know about that prayer? Is that prayer accepted on a high level? No. Why? Because there's something called riyah in that prayer. What does riyah mean? Showing off. And the condition for actions that they're done as much as possible solely for the sake of Allah. So here's what I want you to look at is this person was praying. The external part of it was perfect. But the internal aspect was void of a necessary element that makes that action acceptable. And so the problem with many of us is that we've learned Islam for so long, going through Sunday school all the time, learning, but all we kept learning was the exoteric part of it, the shell of it, and the actual ruh, the actual inside of it, which actually gives your actions strength. Like ikhlas, for example. What does ikhlas mean? Sincerity. Ikhlas means sincerity. There's only one motivation pushing you to an action. That's what ikhlas means. So ikhlas is an inner aspect of the prayer, but how do you get that? Have you ever sat in a Sunday school class where they're like, all right, today's lesson, how will we get sincerity? Never. It's always like how many fard, how many sunnahs, how many mustahab. You're like, man, I mastered that when I was 5 years old. But I'm missing the actual, they say trust in Allah. That's called tawakkul. Where do I learn how to build tawakkul on Allah? What does tawakkul mean? Trust on Allah. Trust on Allah completely. Where do I learn that? That's the inner aspect, and that's why, as Shafat explained, this is a spiritual primer where I'm going to be going through a book with you, and I'm going to teach it to you the traditional way. I'm going to read the Arabic to you, and I'm just going to explain what he's saying and make it, translate it in a way that we, a millennial American Muslim, can kind of understand this and adapt this into our lives, inshallah. Fahimtum? And my classes are always dialogue-based, so as I'm teaching and we're discussing this, if you have any questions or want to understand something deeper, you didn't get it, just ask right on the spot so you don't forget that thought, inshallah ta'ala. So yeah? Alright, let's begin, inshallah. The name of the book is an interesting name. And the name of the book is إعانة المتوجه المسكين إلى طريق الفتح والتمكين. The name of the book is إعانة, help, al-mutawajjih al-miskini, which guides the miskin. What's a miskin in Arabic language? Who knows? What's miskin? Yes. A needy person. And I love how she used the word needy. She didn't use poor person. Because when you say poor, immediately our mind goes to a social economic classification. But when I use the word needy could mean I need something in life. And so what we realize, subhanAllah, me and a few of my boys from Qalam, in between Jummah and this halaqah, we just went downtown got some of those scooters and was just like, riding around downtown, right? That's what we're like, what are we going to do? Let's just ride around downtown. So we got some scooters and we're blazing. And subhanAllah, we stopped at a 7-Eleven, right? So, and we stopped at the 7-Eleven, and there was this really, really poor person sitting on the floor, right? And there's tons of like people from a completely different socioeconomic class just walking back and forth, right? You've seen it before in urban areas. You see it all the time. And there's another poor person who's standing in the door, and he's talking to the guy on the floor, and he's like, yo, I feel you, bro. This is what he's saying. He's like, yo, I feel you. Yo, these dudes here walking past it, this is what he's saying, not my words. He's like, these dudes here, they don't know what's real. They don't know what's going on. As if to say, they're in another world, you're needy, but they're living in a whole nother class, and they have no idea about reality. The reason I'm bringing this up is, what we need to understand is, regardless of your socioeconomic class, if you haven't cultivated a relationship with your Creator deeply in your heart, there is a deep void inside of you that you're going to keep trying to fill with other things. And you may look like you're chilling, you got an Audi, you got a nice house, you got all of this, but guess what? Every night, you're struggling just to fall asleep. Every night in your home, there's arguments like crazy. Why? Because there's something missing inside. My point in bringing this up is that poor man on the ground, we can see him and say, he's needy. But my question is, can you see the need in the one in the Audi? Do you realize though, can you think here that, wait, I know people from a high socioeconomic status, and they got issues. They got deep problems at home. Mom's beating, dad's beating mom. Mom is doing her own thing. But everybody's just rolling around in BMWs and Audis. And everyone's like, dang, I wish I was rolling like them. And she's like, nah, you don't want to be rolling like us. Because of what's going on inside. So the word is needy, miskeen. Miskeen means needy. And here's the thing that a believer has to do. I need all of you to understand this point. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nas antumul fuqara'u ila Allah. O all people, listen up. Antum al-fuqara, you are all needy, faqir. You are all like that poor dude on the street. That's all of you. To Allah. I don't know if that resonates with you, because like I see it so clearly. And when I deal with younger millennials, it's like they're so impressed by the external. But I'm like, yo, you just gotta grow up and see that external doesn't mean anything, man. It's the inner richness that matters. So he says, Al-I'ana, this book is help, which is directing the needy person. This book, I'm going to tell you right now, will not help you if you don't realize your need to Allah. Let me say that one more time. This book is written for someone who realizes deep in their heart, I need Allah. And what I'm going to try to keep reminding you is, you keep filling your life with things that you think are going to make you happy, but you realize they don't make you happy, and you feel more empty after you've used those things up. Yo, you ever bought a new car, and after like a week, you're like, yo, this is whack? No? Maybe 2 months, maybe? You ever got a new house, was all hyped up, then after about a year, you're like, feels kind of empty again. I'm missing something. Think about it. You ever got a new, video games? College students always in the video game. I forgot where I'm at now. And after a while, you're like, yo, this is whack, man. You know why? The heart is hollow. The heart is open. The heart has a void in it. But what you realize as you become more spiritually mature is that the only thing that will truly fill that void, is your sajda. That sajda you do and your face is just on the ground and you're like, Subhana Rabbil A'la. Wallahi, brothers and sisters, that's the most complete feeling you're ever going to get in your life. Other people will use cigarettes, drugs, LSDs, this and that, shrooms, everything, yo. And they're searching. And you're like, you want to get high? Come, roll through the masjid. Drop 2, you'll feel high. Drop 2. And if you truly put yourself down, you feel that elevation. you feel it starts to fill that void. But wallah, you're going to keep searching in place after place after place, and eventually you're like, I remember Mikaeel, he said one day, yo, I'm going to keep searching for highs at different places to fill that void. And then you'll be like, now I realize. That's where I find it, right there on that musalla right there. So again, this book, he wrote it to guide the miskeen. Who's miskeen, sister? The needy person. The needy person. We all have needs. Realize that I'm in need. Antum al-fuqara, I'm in need. See, here's the problem though. If you don't realize you in need, sometimes Allah will break you till you realize you in need. You feel me on that? You know what I mean? Like he'll push you to a point where you can't take it no more, and the only way is you raise your hands, Ya Allah, I can't do it, Ya Allah, and you're just crying. And then he's like, oh, now you realize you need me. Come on, I got you. But for some, they take lesson from here. They're like, nah, I'm going to learn from your mistakes. I realize I can't breathe, I can't walk, I can't do anything without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they've haqiq faqarak. Ibn Atta'illah Askandari, he's a great scholar. He wrote the Hakam. The Hikam of Ibn Atta, he says, haqiq faqarak. Realize your need to Allah, you'll realize all the blessings that He'll give you when you realize that. You know what I'm saying? SubhanAllah. I'anatu al-mutawajjihi al-miskini. This book, I'm only doing the title. I'm just explaining the title of the book, y'all. Like, we didn't crack it open yet, yo. I'anatu al-mutawajjihi al-miskini ila tariq. He's like, I'm writing a book which is help to guide the poor, needy person. Now you get the idea of poor and needy. Ila tariq, to the pathway. To the pathway. Ila tariq al-fathi, the pathway of openings. What he means by this is, look, spiritually, as you try to become a better Muslim, and as you try to get closer, there will constantly be different hurdles that jump up. There will be different hurdles that pop up in your way. And so what you need are doors that block you, impediments. And so what you often need is someone to give you guidance on how to get around or over those things. And so he says this will be a book which is directing the poor person to the pathway, ila tariq al-fath, with tamkeen, openings, and tamkeen means to be firm, stable. See, a lot of us, our faith is really shaky. It's really shaky. Like some days we're on it, but some days it's just like I'm on a skateboard, yo. At any moment, I'm going to lose it. You rode good today, yo. You rode good. So tamkeen means like you're on firm ground. And so he's writing this book to guide us on this path. Now here's the deal with the path though. A lot of us aren't on the path yet because we're sleeping on the side of the pathway. And so what has to happen first is what's called yaqadha. So you guys know what it means to be woke, right? Woke is a word they use all the time now, woke. So in Islam, in our istalahat, in our Islamic terminologies for spirituality, there's a concept called yaqadha, which literally means to be woke, to be aware. And then there's the opposite. What's the opposite of yaqadha? Who knows this, yo? Oh, Allahu Akbar. Shaykhna? MashaAllah. Who said that? Who said that? Nah, man, I want shabab, man, shabab. The opposite of yaqadha is ghafla. So yaqadha means to be woke. Ghafla means to be sleeping. And what you realize, the best example to this is virtual reality. When you wake up, it's like you literally take off the virtual reality glasses. What did Morpheus get? The pills? Which pills? Which was it? Red, blue? Which one woke you up?
I forgot.
Come on, man. Red pill, right? Whatever. Anyways. I was actually like a kid when that came out. Y'all like, yeah, that was an old movie, dude. Like, we don't remember that. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make here is that many of us, when you start to learn the reality of hayat dunya, what is life about, what is akhirah about, what are we here journeying in this dunya, what it's all about, it's like literally you're lifting up the virtual reality glasses and you're like, oh my God, this is what's going on out here? And the minute we're like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I'm about to put those back on and just chill out for a bit. When I get to 40, 30, I'll lift them up a little bit. Do you guys get that analogy?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go a little deeper on that analogy, yo. Like, the Prophet ﷺ said this. He said, listen, whenever a group of people gather together to remember Allah, the angels, I'm lifting those glasses. Just for a minute, take off the virtual reality glasses. The angels start to call each other. Yo, come on, halumma ila hajatikum. They start to call each other. Come. It's going down over there. And the angels, the hadith says the angels gather around that place where those people are gathering, remembering Allah. And then they start to stack up on one another, reaching the heavens. And all the angels, as far as to that place, Texas is flat anyway, so they probably can see all the way to Dallas. Anyways, but all the angels can see it's going down at that spot. And they're all flocking to witness the remembrance of Allah that's happening at that place. Did you take them off just for a moment to envision that? That's your Prophet ﷺ saying that's happening right now at this spot right now. We are only here because we want to remember Allah and become better at knowing Allah. Angels have flocked to this spot because it's going down in Nueces right now. This is the hipster spot for the angels. They're like, yo. do you get it? Okay, but for some of us, it's like, that seems like that's not real. What's real is I'm just in a masjid and I'm just in a masjid. Well, that's because you haven't really realized or really made it firm in your heart that you believe in angels. Like, it hasn't become firm inside there that there are angels that Allah has created. And then that means you just have to boost your Iman. You need to sit with more people with Iman. You need to be around people with more Iman. And the more you stay around those people, the stronger your Iman is going to get. Right? And so right now, what I just tried to do with that one hadith is just lift the glasses for a moment. And some of your minds were like, no, I'm not taking off the glass. I don't want to see that. That reality ain't real. That reality is not real. I'm not feeling you, bro. Switch the topic. But some of you were like, no, I'm feeling it. I want to take the glasses off. I'm tired. And you saw those angels in your mind. You saw that reality. So the point I'm trying to explain here is that in this book, what he's going to do is walk us through a pathway on a path. But many of us are sleeping next to the road. And so someone has to come over and wake you up. But when you're sleeping, you know how it is somebody wake you up. What do you normally do? You be like, hey, get off me, man. No, I ain't getting up. What time is it? For y'all, it'd be like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It's like, no, I'm sleeping some more. 1 p.m., all right, I might get up now. I'm a morning person. I love the mornings personally. So anyways, some people, ghafla. And when you wake up, like, yeah, into bed. Wake up, bro. He's like, no, man, get off me, bro. I want to keep the virtual glasses on. I like this. This is fun. I'm enjoying this for a little bit. He's like, no, but it's not real, man. It's not real. It's going to end. That's a temporary pleasure. Don't you really? They're like, yeah, but you know, it's cool. I'll take them off later in life. Do you guys get that analogy? And so what we need to do is really have the courage to be like, no, I'm taking the glasses off. I want to know what reality is, and that's about learning what my Prophet ﷺ said about this life, about the shortness of it, the actions that I can do. Let me give you an example. One time, the Prophet ﷺ they slaughtered a goat, and he gave it to Aisha, right? And he's like, yeah, Aisha, you know, give it out to people. So poor people start coming to the door, and she's like distributing the meat. A little while later, like an hour, 2 hours later, the Prophet ﷺ, he comes back to the house, and he's like, yeah, Aisha, how much is left? Like, yo, we got to grab too. How much is left? And she's like, I gave it all out. She's like, all that we have, she says these words, all that remains is the shin. The shin. That's all that remains. And the Prophet ﷺ said, all that doesn't remain is the shin. What you give for Allah is what remains. What you keep for yourself doesn't remain. Virtual reality lifted. She's like, I don't have nothing left. He was like, no, what you give out is what you keep. What you give out is what you keep. I know this one dude, he just got a new watch, man. This dude, he was a new Muslim. His Iman was through the roof. He just had this new watch, right? New Muslims do some crazy stuff sometimes, so he just had this new watch. There was a brother next to him. He had already lifted the glasses. When you wake up from a deep sleep, you really want to stay woke. So like you're like, yo, this is serious, yo. Like, whoa, right? So he was at the masjid, and this one brother just saw the watch. The brother was like, mashallah, brother, that's a beautiful watch. And he thought in his heart, that's what he told me later. He's like, I thought in my heart, I really love this watch. But then I said, if you love it, give it. So right away, he's like, took it off, passed it over. Dude was like, no. He's like, no, take it. Take it. Went home, his wife, he was like, where's your watch? He's like, Of course, she wasn't in virtual reality mode. She was like, you stupid. What you doing? But he was like, nah, I got that watch waiting for me. It's waiting for me, and I know it's waiting for me. And that was, he was woke. He was woke. And so every now and then, you need friends or you need gatherings where someone's going to say, wake up, yo. Now let me tell you something else. As college students, you know how y'all sleep? Y'all sleep by saying, what are you doing with your life right now? Oh, I'm studying. Wait, hold on. No, like, what are you going to be 4 years from now? Oh, I'm just going to graduate. And then when you graduate, guess what you get hit with? Graduation depression. You know what graduation depression is, right? When you realize I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with my life. Because all I've been living for is this day of graduation. I've been living all on I've been living by convincing myself we're just studying right now. But the moment I graduate, it's like someone literally woke me up. And the next day you don't got class. And you're like, well, what am I doing with my life? I don't know. For the last 7 years I've been living to graduate. And I just graduated. And I'm back to not knowing what the heck I want to do. And that's hard to deal with. So college students, they really sleep by not thinking beyond graduation day. Beyond. And one of the things the Prophet taught us is that be someone who can look further in the future. The further in the future you can look, the less that's going to hit you, because you graduate, you're like, yeah, I'm still on my game. I already know what I was going to do after this. I got things I'm opening up this, I'm working on this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So my point, other people hit some midlife crisis, 40 years old, children, family, everything. They're like, what is my life about? My kids just graduated, went to college, now what am I going to do? My point, brothers and sisters, is that sometimes we delude ourselves into sleeping by putting up a fake objective, which is not a true objective in life. Do you get what I mean by that? I hope that resonates with you guys. Because that's not an ultimate objective. Your objectives need to be further down the road than just a piece of paper. And so, and when you wake up in the morning, you need to be able to look that objective in the eye and move forward with your life. So he's saying, I'm going to get you on this pathway. I'm going to get you on this pathway. I'm going to walk you on this pathway. But what I'm telling you guys first is some of y'all ain't ready to walk. I got to wake you up first and say, are you ready to walk on this pathway? So y'all ready? Not for real. Or y'all just want to sleep? What's up? Issa, what's up, man? Issa like, yo, I drove from Dallas, man. I'm up. All right, you want to sleep? All right, let's read a little of the book, inshallah. Bismillah? Okay. The author, he says, يقول الأب معترف بذنوبه وعيوبه وقصيره أحمد بن أحمد بن محمد الفاسي الزروق الحمد لله ملك الوهاب رحيم التواب هادي إلى الحق والصواب. He starts his book like all Muslim scholars start their book. He says, Alhamdulillah, the king who gives. Like, I want you to think of Allah for a moment as I read these things. The king of everything who gives. Malik al-Wahhab, Rahim al-Tawwab, the most merciful, Tawwab, who's always turning back to his creation. Think on that for a moment, yo. Al-Hadi ila al-Haqq was-Sawab, the one who guides, Hadi ila al-Haqq, the one who guides to truth and the right way. You want to know the right way? It's Allah. عالمي بالخفيات والجليات. The one who is completely aware of the most hidden thing and the most clear thing. Yo, can you imagine, brothers and sisters, if just your last 48 hours was played in front of this masjid right now? If we were like, yo, Ahmed, come here. Ahmed came up, sat down. And on the screen behind us, Ahmed's last 48 hours was played on the screen. Put yourself. Can you imagine that? Alright. Some of y'all think y'all big. Last week. Can we put your last week on the screen right now? How would you feel? All those hidden, everything your eyes saw and you did, right there. That's Yawm al-Qiyamah, yo. Is it not? Is it not? What is Yawm al-Qiyamah? Tu'radul hayat sa'atan sa'atan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here, I'm lifting the virtual reality glasses. The Prophet ﷺ said, your whole life will be shown sa'atan sa'atan on the screen. Everybody watching. Your mom watching, your dad watching, your grandma watching, your boy watching, your students watching, your children watching. SubhanAllah. So what does he say? Alimi bil khafiyati wal jaliyat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is aware of every hidden thing and every open thing. Al-muttali ala dhama'ir wal niyat. Now it goes even deeper, because we can watch the screen, right, and see what you did, but there's a deeper level to Allah's sight. And he says, Al-muttali ala dhama'ir, the one who is cognizant or aware of the inner reality of the heart while you're doing actions. So now I want you to add a layer to this. One thing I said was just imagine your life showing. The next thing is imagine your life showing, but we can see your heart while the life is showing. So that means so when I'm in the masjid praying, you're going to show my heart too? Sister knows what's up, man. That's heavy. Al-muttali ala dhama'i wan niyat. Some of y'all chilling like, yo, my heart's good. Alhamdulillah. If your heart is good, praise Allah, yo. Praise Allah. But if it's not, say astaghfirullah, yo. Don't say it right now. You ain't gotta let me know. Al-muhitu bil kulliyat. No, honestly, one of the most powerful thoughts is to imagine that your life is the last 48 hours is going to be played. That's one of the most powerful thoughts you can have. The last 48 hours played in front of everyone. Imagine this now. I'm going to make it a little harder on you. The Prophet ﷺ sees your last 48 hours. The Prophet ﷺ, the one who walked through Ta'if, got hit with rocks, got stoned, thrown out just so you can say La ilaha illallah. He's going through all of this just so you can have this word, La ilaha illallah, and know how to be a good person, know how to love Allah. That one person right there is watching your life on the big screen. I don't know what I'm going to say to him. I don't know what I'm going to say. Because I knew I wasn't supposed to do those things. I don't know what I'm going to say when all my students can see my life being shown and they'll say you were a fraud. You taught us all this. You lectured on this. We see what you're doing. But that's a reality. When I take off the virtual reality glasses, that's a reality that every night I face. Because if I face it every night, it will make me a better person. If I face it every night that I will show my life before everyone, it will make me live the way I'm supposed to live. In a way that pleases Allah, pleases the Prophet ﷺ, pleases all those who love me. وَلَا نِهَايَةَ لِنَعَمِهِ وَلَا آلَائِهِ. He says, the one who there is no limit to his blessings upon us. There is no limit. No limit. La nihaya. You can't count the number of blessings Allah has given you, brothers and sisters. You guys know, you've studied this, we are part of 1% of the 1% most wealthy people of the world. No limit to the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hada wa dhalla adalla. He is the one that guides and He is the one that misguides. Waffaqa wa khadhala. He is the one that makes us able to do righteous, and He is the one that can take away our ability. An'ama wa ajzala. He blesses and gives you more. Falahu alhamdu ala minnatihi. All praise to Allah because of His blessings. Walahu shukr, and shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ala ni'matihi, for His blessings. Wa nas'aluhu al-afiya bi rahmatihi. And He says, and we ask Allah for rahmah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for rahmah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us more than anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us more than anything. Now, the book continues. He says, Salawatuhu al-mubariku tama, al-jamiyatu al-dhama, shamilatul ama, ala nabi al-rahmah. He says, may prayers and peace and blessings, complete blessings, all-encompassing blessings, be upon the Prophet of mercy. Ameen. Miftahil khayri wal isma. The one who is the key to goodness. Like, if you know his life, it's the key to goodness. Like, you can open up the door to goodness by just knowing Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yo. Just study who he was. Get to know who he was. And you'll see those doors open up. Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammadin Amin. Al-Murafi' ala Jami'il Alameen. Our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Amin, the trusted one. He was trusted by Allah with the message. And he says, Al-Murafi' ala Jami'il Alameen, the one who was given a high status above the rest of the creation. Now he begins the book. He says, أما قبل كل شيء ومعه وبعده فليس على الحقيقة إلا الله تعالى وحده. He says, أما بعد. That's how they start the books. Proceeding forward. He says, فليس على الحقيقة إلا الله تعالى وحده. He says, in reality, the only thing that truly exists, the only thing that was there before everything, and the only thing that is after everything is Allah. He is the causes of all causes and the goals of all goals. All objectives lead to Him and all causes come from Him. So he says, in reality, there is nothing but Allah. And what this means is, as a person becomes spiritually more mature, as a person spiritually elevates, no matter what they go through and wherever they're at, they see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their life constantly. And they realize Allah is with them at every moment. Can I give you an example? Prophet ﷺ is running away for his life from Mecca. He's running for his life. There's a bounty on his head. He's a wanted man, dead or alive. He's being tracked. Finds his way to a cave. You know the story from Sunday school. Finds his way to a cave. The cave isn't even big. Him and his best friend are hiding in this little cave. And he's being tracked. They track him. He's on this mountain somewhere. As they now get closer, his beloved friend begins to weep. His beloved friend Abu Bakr begins to cry. And why is he crying? Not for his life, but for the life of Muhammad. I'm crying because I don't want you to go. Not me. I don't care what happens to me. And he starts to cry. He's worried. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who's woke, he's never asleep. He's never asleep. In fact, he was sleeping. The angels came to him one time and they said, we have a message. Should we give it to him? One angel said, no, he's sleeping. The other said, his heart never sleeps. His heart never sleeps. Everything you say right now, he's getting. That's profound. So the angel told him the information, but the point we get from it is he was never sleeping. He was always woke. So the Prophet ﷺ is in that cave. Abu Bakr radiallahu anh is scared. And he says, La tahzan, inna Allaha ma'ana. He says, don't worry. Allah is right here with me. Allah is right here with me. So what I'm trying to highlight here is Sidi Ahmed Zaruq rahimahullah. He begins his book by saying, فَلَيْسَ عَلَى الْحَقِيقَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. In reality, you need to realize there's nothing but Allah. There's nothing but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. مَنْ تَمَسَّكَ بِحَبْلِهِ الْمَتِينَ مَلَكَ. The one who holds on to the rope of Allah will have control. وَمَنْ حَادَ عَنْ بَابِهِ الْكَرِيمِ هَلَكَ. The one who runs away from the generous door of Allah is destroyed. The generous door of Allah. The door is there. You can go knock on the door. The one behind the door is generous. You knock at that door, He gives you what you ask for. But He says there's some people, they go, I'm not knocking at the door, I'm good. Yes. إِذْ لَا عَاصِمًا إِذْ لَا عَاصِمًا مِنْ أَمْرِهِ إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ وَلَا هِدَايَ إِلَّا لِمَنْ هُوَ بِحَبْلِ جَوَارِهِ يَعْتَصِمُ فَيَصِلُ الْحَقِيقَ بِالشَّرِيعَةِ بَعْدَ التَّنَسُّبِ مِنْ كُلِّ قَبِيحٍ وَشَنِيعَةٍ. He says, listen, if you hold on to the rope of Allah, you will have that control. Let's call the adhan, inshallah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
If someone needs to make wudu and refresh for salah, go ahead. I'm just going to finish off just what we started, inshallah ta'ala. He says, the author, he says that a person will reach the reality, that state of wokeness, through the Sharia, through their holding on to the Sharia, holding on to what the Prophet ﷺ has given us. They'll reach that state of spiritual wokeness with two things. Write these down. Number one, holding on to the Sharia. Number two, min وَتَنَسُّلِ مِنْ كُلِّ قَبِيحٍ وَشَنِيعَةٍ. He says, and also by removing from their hearts every vile and every evil quality from the heart. This person will prefer, after removing those qualities, to walk on the path to Allah. And this person will then have a clear mind and a heart that is always looking. These are very clear. He's not just adding words here and there. Each one of these is a very clear objective of this author. He says that they will prefer to walk on the path, Then he says that this person will have بِذِهْنٍ سَلِيمٍ حَاضِرٍ. This person will have a mind that is pure and present. A present mind. A present mind means you're present in every moment. You're not somewhere else. You're present where you're supposed to be. Like when we pray, one of the objectives in prayer, one of the key goals in prayer that you're struggling for 40, 50 years of praying is to have presence in prayer. To just the ability to bring your mind to that spot. To bring your mind to that moment of sujood. If you can gain presence in 2 raka'ah, you've mastered it, you got it. Do you get what I mean by that? Because when we say Allahu Akbar, the body is there. But the problem is that the soul won't be reformed until the mind is present and goes through everything as well. So what we often do, and listen to me, you know how like someone you're not used to, eye contact is weird? You know what I mean? Like you catch eye contact real quick, you be looking away, right? Right? And sometimes you want to stick it a little longer just so they know, like, yo, there's a little bit, spark, whatever, But anyways, but normally if it's awkward, eye contact is kind of like, you just keep it moving. See, it's very similar with Allah. Many of us pray, but we never make eye contact with Allah. I'm going to say that again. Many of us pray salah, but the whole time, the moment you check in, you avoid an eye contact with Allah. You don't really face Allah. You don't really let your mind make eye-to-eye contact with Allah because it feels awkward. And so one of the goals and objective in the prayer is when you say Allahu Akbar, your mind now is focusing directly on that moment and you don't let it go anywhere else. It's just pure eye contact with your beloved, yo. And what's better than a moment of eye contact? Staring in the eyes of the one you love the most, Isa? Whew. Bro. My bad, yo. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than staring in the eyes of the one you love most, Habibatik. But if that Habib is Allah, oh, subhanAllah, the sweetness is 10 times better than that sweetness, Isa. 10 times. 10 isn't a number. 10's a number. It's infinite times better. We'll talk in the car, bro. Listen to what he says next. Look what he says next. I need this last point and we'll stop. He says, وَمَفَاتِيحُ الْخَيْرِ فِي إِلْتِزَامِ الْلَجْءِ إِلَيْهِ. The key to goodness in your life is constantly holding to sincere calling upon Allah. I'll say it again slowly. The key to bringing goodness into your life, the first key that you need is sincere calling upon Allah. Al-laj'i ilayhi is the dua when you're like, Ya Allah. Like no one's around and you're just like, Ya Allah. Like I don't know what I'm doing, Ya Allah. When no one can see you in that dua you make, he's like, that's the key. وَلَا سِيَمَا فِي حَقِّ بَعْضِ النَّاسِ. No, then he says, I'm sorry. وَأَسَاسُ الْأُمُورِ وُجُودِ الْإِعْتِمَادِ إِلَيْهِ. And the basis of your whole religious, the edifice of your deen, the basis is your i'timad alayhi, your trust on him. You're leaning back and trust upon Allah. So 2 things. The key, he says, is just sincere dua. What does this mean? You, after your salah, brothers and sisters, just take a moment before you get up and be like, hey girl, yo, that's halakha was lit, yo, I was feeling it, woo. Right? Before you do all that, you just turn to Allah, yo. You just turn to Allah, and with a sincere heart, you just turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. And if you can't do it with people around, when you get in the car and you're driving, at that point, Ya Allah, just turn purely, open the heart to Allah. He says that's the base. Once you start doing that, then we'll start going down this pathway, inshallah ta'ala.
About 20 minutes.
20?
9:15.
Oh, we chilling. Afwan. Okay. Bismillah. I was thinking it was like 10 minutes before. MashaAllah. Okay. Let's slow down a little bit. Okay. Alright. قال تعالى وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to explain how the basis of your deen is this: we'll only do 5 more minutes, so we have time just to relax before the prayer, inshallah. 5 more minutes. That's it. He said, قال تعالى وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Whoever trusts in Allah, He is enough for him. فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. He is enough. أَيْ كَافِيهِ وَوَاقِيهِ وَنَاصِرِيهِ. He is the one that will suffice for you. He is the one that will protect you. And He is the one that will help you. But the condition is trust on Him. The condition is trust. You got to be able to put that trust on Him. You won't trust somebody you don't know. I'm going to say that again. You don't ever trust someone you don't know. You will not walk outside and give the keys to your car to someone you don't know. You'll be a fool. And we won't blame you for not doing that. But someone you know very well, Sister Fatima, you're like, Fatima, hold the keys to my car because you know her. You'll be like, yo, Ahmed, hold the keys to my car because you know Ahmed. You won't ever be able to trust on Allah till you know Allah. Once you know Allah, then it's like, yo, Allah got me, I'm good. You know who knows Allah? Your grandma. I'm serious, yo. Your grandma, the way she talks about Allah, that's because she knows Allah. So the way she says, oh, Beti, Allah will take care of it. Beta, don't worry. Just Beta, Allah will take care of it. She knows Allah. She knows Allah. So she's like, no, Allah got me. I told you it'll work out. I told you I know Allah. But the problem with us, the way we so worried, because we just gave our keys to a stranger, yo. And so we're worried. Because I gave the keys to a stranger. But if you knew who you gave the keys to, you'll be in the halakha chilling because, yo, Fatima's got my keys. Same with Allah. You will trust Allah when you get to know Allah. How do you get to know somebody? Yo, Isa, how do you get to know somebody, yo? Anyone, if I want to get, how do you get to know me? What do we do?
Talk to you.
Talk to me. Number one. What else?
Ask questions.
Okay, that's talk. More?
Spend time.
Spend time, yo. That's it. You spend time with someone, you get to know them. Most of us don't spend enough time with Allah, yo. And I'm not talking about 2 rakah, 4 rakah. I'm talking about time when your heart is just with Allah. When you're in the car, you turn the radio off, you turn everything off, turn the podcast off, and you allow your heart just to talk to Allah. That's spending time. So you want to get to know somebody, you got to talk to them, you got to spend time with them. When you do that, then you start to know Allah. Alright? Alright, let's stop and let's have some questions and talk about stuff. If there's anything you guys were feeling when you were listening, any questions, just any comments that you want to share, please do, inshallah. Bismillah, go ahead, man.
So, like, for example, like in UT, there's a lot of parties and things around here, right? So, like, let's say like there's a party there, right? And I understand I'm not supposed to go. I don't go, right? But in my heart, I feel like I have like reluctance in that fact that okay, I didn't go. So, but I feel like I should have been there or something like that.
Yeah.
So I haven't fully submitted to like being like Allah showed me not to go there, so I shouldn't go there. I should feel good about it. How do I get myself to the point where I don't even care about that anymore?
Oh, that takes time. For right now, just fight the nafs. Look. At the beginning, when you were going to the gym, you don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to go to the gym. You don't feel like going to the gym. But you go to the gym, you're like, all right, come on, let's go. Right? You don't even feel like it doesn't feel good either. But after you go to the gym for like a year straight, you can't go 2 days without hitting the gym up. You're like, I need to feel that burn. Look, right now, especially when you're young, that side of you is stronger. So right now is mujahida time. This age is pure mujahida. Later, you get a little older, the mujahida drops a bit, you don't got to fight it as much. So right now, don't even focus on the question for those online watching. The question was that there's a party going on campus, and my nuts want to go. Like the music is beating, people walk into the party, you know what I mean? You see everybody going, right? Now, if you out of the virtual reality mode, you see that looks totally different. But if you in virtual reality, that looks lit. But so now you're like, yo, I'm not going. I can't. That's going to destroy me right there. I'm going to fall into haram. My heart's going to feel horrible in the morning. I'm not even going to be like, subhanAllah, my life going to be playing on the screen. Sheikh was saying, no, I can't do it. but you don't go, you go somewhere else. First of all, you need a substitute. You know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be something to substitute it with. But when you don't go, you're like, yo, man, I wish I have that feeling that I wish I went. That's okay. You fought the nafs, you got the reward for fighting the nafs, and that's the best thing right there. It's like the dude going to the gym first 3 weeks, he don't even feel like going to the gym.
Like, I have a lot of conversations with my dad, and he's always bringing up, like, how something is happening and it's a sign why you shouldn't be doing this or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I have a hard time, like, reading into certain signs or, like, seeing, like, the meaning in it, so I was just wondering, like, what your thoughts are on that.
So sometimes there are things that happen to us to wake us up. Yes. And sometimes they're tests, sometimes they're, hey, you're going down the wrong way, wake up, stop from that action. Sometimes it's just a test that's making us better. It's hard to tell. Like, you need a relationship with, you have to kind of grow in your spirituality to kind of be able to read those signs. But let me tell you this, it's a deep question. So let me tell you this. Whenever something happens to me that I feel was a hardship, the first thing I ask myself, I do a troubleshooting, right? The first thing I ask myself is, have I been slacking? Is there something I've been doing, right? That's my first check. If there isn't that I can point to, and this thing keeps happening, like there's something happening, then the next thing I look at is, okay, Allah is testing me so that I can raise my status a bit, right? That's my next checklist, whatever. You know, so like basically what I'm saying is not every hardship that comes is because you were doing a sin and you're messed up. No, that's not the case. Because if that was the case, why did the prophets go through so much hardship?
Yeah.
Okay, so not every hardship is because you're such a bad person. Because the prophet himself went through so much hardship. So you kind of got to, it takes time to learn this, but the first thing you need to do, the first thing I do is I'm like, astaghfirullah, is there anything I'm doing? Ya Allah, forgive me. And then I go to the next thing mentally, which is, no, this isn't because of some sin. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to raise my status. I need to get through this patiently. You know? Allah. Yeah.
So like, there's like different types of nafs, right? And I think like the highest one is called nafsul mutma'inna.
Yes.
And so that one, I think it means that your heart is pleased with whatever Allah is pleased with, and you don't really want to go to those things that Allah would not be pleased
Yeah.
with. So does that mean that someone who's achieved that status literally has no temptation whatsoever to do anything wrong? Like, how is that even possible? Like,
Yeah, okay, the question is, it's a deep question, but the question is that there's 3 levels of nafs. Nafs al-amara bisu, nafs al-lawam, nafs al-mutma'inna. Nafs al-amara, the lowest one is like that, you know that dude, your friend on campus that's always trying to go to that party? You know that dude? That's nafs al-amara bisu. Like that dude always, every party he knows and he wants to be at each one. So that's nafs al-amara. Nafs al-lawama is the dude like you that's like, oh, yo, you heard there's a party? Nah, we shouldn't go, bro. Yeah, but I know. And you're like arguing, that's nafsul lawama. He's like, we shouldn't go, but I kind of want to go. And nafsul mutma'inna is like the one who never wants to go to this stuff. And they hear about the astaghfirullah, like, no way, right? So the highest level is that nafsul mutma'inna. And that people reach that at a later stage in their spiritual development when their own desire is in line with the desire of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a very high stage. It's the last stage that you reach. It's not like you just trip upon it and you're there already. It takes time to reach that. But basically, the desire coincides with what Allah likes, and that person just doesn't want. I've met people, I've sat under people that clearly they didn't even have the desire to go. Like their desire was for what Allah wanted. Not everyone, not every third person you meet has reached that level, but it takes time to reach that level. Yeah, it takes time. But if your question is like, how is that even possible? I mean, you have to see it. There's some things that are experiential. If you saw someone like that, if I took you with me to meet some of the people that I've sat with, you would be like, oh my God, I can't believe these people exist. Right? I can't believe these people actually exist. And there are people. You can reach it. It is reachable. It just takes time. Now.
The call to action, how to live with Allah.
Call to action, how to live with Allah. Very simple. I love that question. Call to action, how to live with Allah. I got you. Y'all ready? One thing. Before you do anything, say Bismillah. anything. If you can't say Bismillah, guess what? Don't do it. You ain't supposed to be there, yo. I'm telling you, everything that is fun to do and enjoyable, truly pleasurable. I'm not talking about pleasing for the next 5 minutes and then after that it's anxiety. But true pleasure, you can say Bismillah before all of it, yo. All of it. So one way to be with Allah, get in the car, Bismillah. Go into class, Bismillah. Go on shopping, Bismillah. If you get Bismillah on your tongue like that, Allah is with me, Allah is with me, that's an action item right there. And here's the test. If you can't say Bismillah before you go in that spot, you ain't supposed to be there, yo. It's that simple. I ain't supposed to be there. But if I can say any type of like, all right, I'm going there, Bismillah, I'm going to meet this sister because she needs some help, so I'm going to this spot. All right, Bismillah. Right? But I can't say that when I'm about to walk up in the club, yo. There ain't no Bismillah. It's like, Astaghfirullah, here we go. Astaghfirullah, let's go. Astaghfirullah before, Astaghfirullah after. Nah. Bismillah before, Bismillah after, yo. And I'll be real with you. Listen. You may be like, oh, life sucks, it's going to be boring. Nah, yo, listen. There's pleasure that's temporal, followed by pain, and there's pleasure that isn't followed by pain. All the pleasures that are not followed by pain, you can say Bismillah. All the pleasures not followed by a pain. Yo, man, I don't got to get specific, man. The hangover. Y'all don't know, alhamdulillah, y'all don't know. I live life of jahiliyyah, I know. That night in the club is followed by so much anxiety the next morning. Alhamdulillah, if y'all know, whatever, don't even like make a gesture or whatever, but you don't gotta like nod, like you know what I'm talking about. Right? Don't be like, yeah, mm-hmm. Don't, please don't, no, okay? I only know because of jahiliyyah, okay? Jahiliyyah. But that's fun for a moment, and then it's followed by all this pain afterward. But true pleasure isn't followed by pain like that. And that's the pleasures you can say Bismillah before. Feel me, Isa? Say Bismillah, yo. Bismillah, let's go for a walk, yo. The real Bismillah, like, you know. Allah give us tawfiq, inshallah. Let's take a break before time of prayer, inshallah ta'ala. See you guys for our next class. When's our next class, yo? Mark your calendars from now.
Check. Next is inshallah going to Mufti Muntasir, actually.
Huh?
Mufti Muntasir is going to be the next person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then after that's going to be back.
Oh, I'm coming 2 months later? Yo, we're going to lose our flow, man. I will work it out, yo. You'll keep them informed, inshallah. Let's make a short dua. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya Allah, we ask you, Ya Rabbil Alameen, to clean our hearts, Ya Allah. We ask you to give us your love in our hearts, Ya Allah. We ask you, Ya Allah, to give us the love of those actions that will gain your love, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, we ask you to remove the love of other things from our hearts, Ya Allah. We ask you, Ya Allah, to forgive us of our shortcomings, Ya Allah. Please forgive us, Ya Allah. The actions we've done, Ya Allah, just wipe them away as if they never happened, Ya Allah. We do tawbah to you, we turn back to you and ask you, please, Ya Allah, accept our tawbah, accept our forgiveness, Ya Allah. Give us forgiveness, and Ya Allah, allow us to walk on your straight path from this day forward, Ya Rabbil Alameen. And if we ever slip up again, Ya Allah, allow us to come back to you again, Ya Allah, because there is no way for us to turn but back to you, Ya Allah. Wa akhru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Jazakallah khair.